In this video, we're going to go over step-by-step instructions on how to get you started with your very own Phemex leverage trading account. Now, before we get started, check the description below, follow the link to Phemex, use that affiliate link, get yourself signed up. All you need is an email address and a password, and you can begin trading. The link below will provide you with the lowest rates and fees available through Phemex starting out. Once you follow the link that I gave you, you'll be able to create your own Phemex account. Once that is done, we could then begin by depositing funds into your account. Now, if you're having trouble creating an account or it says you're in a restricted area, that's because leverage trading is not allowed in all countries. For example, if you're in the United States, you are not technically supposed to leverage trade. Now, many people do, and that is at your own risk. The way they get around this loophole is they use a VPN. Now, VPN will allow you to log in as if you were in another country, and this will bypass any type of regulation that is presented by the website itself or by Phemex. Once you've created your account, whether with a VPN or without, you'll have the option to do KYC or verification of your residence. Now, if you do this, you'll be eligible for many more perks, but it's not necessarily required to do that in order to trade. Once you have completed your KYC, or if you choose not to, we then must make a deposit in order to begin trading. So we're going to go up to the top right and click on deposit. Once you click on this, it's going to bring down a menu that gives you several options to deposit. You can either transfer crypto from another exchange or wallet. You can use your credit or debit card, or you can do a wire transfer directly from your bank. Personally, I always buy USDT from another exchange and transfer it in. When I do that, I go to my other exchange, I buy my USDT, and then I come back here and click on Deposit Crypto. It's going to bring up this page in which you will choose your network that you want to use, TRC20, ERC20, so on and so forth. Each one will give you a different address to send to, so be careful. You must send using the same network that you receive on, otherwise your transaction will not go through and your funds will be lost. So let's say we're going to send on the TRC network. I'm going to click TRC network. It's going to give me this address down below. I'm going to copy this address. First, before that, I'm going to choose whether I want to deposit in my spot account or futures account. I only use Phemex for futures trading. I use a different exchange for a spot account. I just like to keep things separated. So I'm going to choose futures account, copy this address, then go back to the exchange that I bought my USDT on, and I'm going to click to transfer those funds out to this address. Once your funds are received on Phemex, we're then going to begin futures trading. We're going to go to the futures tab at the top, click on USD in perpetual. That's what I prefer to trade. You can trade on any one of these, but I prefer to trade USD perpetual for Bitcoin. This allows you to trade USDT based upon the Bitcoin price action. When you click on that, it's going to bring up a page that looks like this. On the top left, you can choose what coin you wish to trade. We can choose Bitcoin. We can type in any altcoin we want, Ethereum. We can type in Cardano, XRP, you name it. We can trade any altcoin here on Phemex. Once your funds are received on Phemex, we're then going to begin futures trading. We're going to go to the futures tab at the top, click on USD in perpetual. That's what I prefer to trade. You can trade on any one of these, but I prefer to trade USD perpetual for Bitcoin. This allows you to trade USDT based upon the Bitcoin price action. When you click on that, it's going to bring up a page that looks like this. On the top left, you can choose what coin you wish to trade. We can choose Bitcoin. We can type in any altcoin we want, Ethereum. We can type in Cardano, XRP, you name it. We can trade any altcoin here on Phemex. In this particular example, we're just going to stick with Bitcoin. So once you have your funds transferred in, you're going to see an available balance right here for however much you transfer in. You do not have to use the entire balance in your trade, but you certainly can. It'll give you percentage options that you can choose as far as how much you want to use. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come up to the top right in our leverage category here. You're going to see this menu right here. You can click isolated or crossed. I always use isolated, and especially if you're a beginner, I recommend you only ever use isolated leverage. Right next to that, you can choose your leverage amount. You can have a leverage amount for long and short. These can be different, or you can have them the same each time. You can adjust it here, or you can simply type in what you want it to be. 100x leverage, 25x leverage, 10x leverage, whatever you want. In this example, we're going to use 10x leverage. Click confirm. Now your settings are going to be isolated 10x leverage trade. Here, just below that is where you set the price that you want to enter your trade. You can either set the price with a limit order. So if we're going to long, we're going to have to set a limit order below current price action. So we would set it somewhere like $93,000 even, which currently is $10 less than price action. If I just wanted to enter the trade right now, let's say price was moving really fast and I just needed to jump in, or I just didn't want to fool with having to have my limit order field, you could click market and then enter the trade right now. You do not have to set a price. Market fees are typically higher than limit fees, though. So I try to use limit as much as possible. On few occasions, I will use market, though. Once you have set a price, let's say we're going to enter this trade at 92,950. We would then select how much of our balance, our available balance that we wanted to use on this trade. You can either enter it manually or you can grab this and slide it over. You can see I am sliding all the way over any amount. Now let's just go with a very, very, very small trade here. I'm going to do 2%. Normally I would never do a trade this small, but this is just for an example. After that, it's going to show you this menu right below there, which gives you your position size, your cost, and your liquidation price. So liquidation price is important. This means if the trade goes against you, it can go to this dollar amount before your entire balance that you put up for leverage is liquidated. We want to make sure that we're using a proper risk to reward management, so we want to pay attention to where our liquidation price is. If liquidation price is not very far away from our entry price, it could be because our leverage is too high. So the higher the leverage, the faster you make profit or loss. So keep that in mind as you're strategizing your trades. Once you've decided on an amount, a price, and a leverage position, you're going to go ahead and click open long or open short. Again, if you're trying to short, the price for your limit order must be above current price action. If you're trying to long, then price must be below current price action for limit trades. So that we don't have to wait on price to hit our order, we're just going to go ahead and enter a market trade here, which will be a higher fee, but it'll automatically get me in the market. I'm going to go 3% of this account balance, which as you can see right here is going to be $133 is what this is going to cost me. That means I'm putting up $133 in risk versus my entire account balance of $4,400. When I do this, it is then going to multiply that by 10x, which is my leverage amount, and give me my margin. Okay, we can see with this trade, if I'm going to long, my liquidation price is $84,106. If I were to short, my liquidation amount will be $101,773. So in this trade, we're going to go ahead and open the long button. So we're going to confirm that. And we are now on a long, which you can see at the bottom of the screen here. This has all of your information, your long percentage, your size of your trade, your entry price. It has a break-even price. Now, the break-even price would include all fees that are incurred through market open and market close. This could change if you're using limit orders. It may not be that much of a break-even price. It will also show you how much in profit you are and how much your realized profit is. So unrealized profit means that's how much the trade has gone your way or against you, but you have not closed the trade or a portion of the trade, so it's not yet claimed. Realized profit to begin with is going to be in the negative always because you're going to start out with a fee. This particular trade was a 79-cent fee, so I'm automatically down 79 cents. As you can see, the trade is going my way. I'm currently up 41 cents. Now, if I wanted to set a take profit or stop loss, I would simply click right here. You can also do that on the far right with this box before you open the trade so that you can already have your limit set. If you open your trade without doing this, then you will need to do it right here where this pencil is. You'll click on this. It'll bring up this box here. You have the first tab here that is giving you the option to close the trade with a take profit or stop loss at a particular price. This will stop you out or close your trade in profit fully when price hits that as a market trade. So let's say I wanted to close this at $94,000 take profit. That would close 100% of the trade and my profit would be $14. Remember, I only have $130 risking on this trade. Let's say I came down and price went against me to stop loss and I wanted to close this if price went to $92,000, which would be $1,000 against me. That would be $14 that I would lose on this trade. Now, you can also do this as a partial take profit or partial stop loss. You can do a market or limit. If you click the limit, if you click where it says market, it'll switch you to limit and you can enter a trigger price, which would be, let's say, $93,999. That's where it will notify the system that you're looking to close out your trade at a certain price right now. You'll then go set your actual closed trade order at a different price. And let's say we want to close it at $94,000. That's $1 above. I could then select how much of my position I want to close. I can close 50% of it here for a $7 profit. I can close 88% of it for a $12 profit, anything in between. You can close a certain amount here. Let's say you want to have two take profits. You might want to take profit one at 94,000. You would enter that. Then you could add another target and take profit two at say 94,500. So you can have multiple take profits. You can do the same with multiple stop losses. You can either do that with limit orders or market orders. Again, limit orders fee is a little bit less, market orders fee is a little bit greater. However, with a market trade, you enter or exit immediately. You don't have to worry about price going somewhere and actually meeting a stop loss or a take profit. As you are here monitoring your trades, you can look at the chart here that looks very similar to TradingView. You can even add indicators on this. There's an indicator button here. You can add VWAPs, moving averages, volume, all sorts of things here. So play with this, add your favorite indicators. You can draw trend lines if you're a trend line trader. You can draw Fibonacci levels if you're a Fib guy or gal. Whatever you want to do, it is very similar to TradingView, so you can monitor your trade right here without having to flip back and forth to TradingView, although you certainly can if that helps you a little more. Let's say I entered a trade and I did not set a take profit or a stop loss. I'm just sitting here watching the trade. As it's moving, I'm just watching it. I don't necessarily have a take profit or a stop loss. If it goes my way or against me a certain amount and I feel like I've had enough, I can just click this close all positions and it will close that trade immediately with price action. It will initiate a market order and close it. You will want to scroll through these tabs and play with them and see what each one of them has to offer. Once you've closed the position, it will have all of your closed positions, your profit and loss in here. If you have limit orders set, whether that be take profit, stop losses, or an entry order, they'll be under active orders until they are filled. The same with conditional orders. These are where your take profits and stop losses will be. Active orders are for your entries. Conditional orders are for your take profits and stop losses. Once they're initiated, or once they are filled, rather, they will be removed from this category and you'll see them in open position. Now that you have the basics down, here's how I would approach each trade. If I'm doing my technical analysis on TradingView and we get to where I am ready to take a trade, I would come to Phemex. I would have no trades going here. I would determine where I want to enter my trade, whether that's a long or a short. I prefer limit entry, although if you need a quick entry, you can switch to market. So I would approach here, I would enter a price that I wanted to short. So let's say I want to short at $93,000. I would then decide how much I wanted to enter there, scroll over, hit that amount, open short. I'm not going to do it because I don't actually want to short here, but that would then place the trade. Actually, let's give you an example here. Let's say I wanted to short at $95,000. There's no way we'll hit that price in the next few minutes. So I'm going to go 50% of my available balance, open short. It's going to give me all the parameters, my liquidation price, my total cost. I'm going to confirm that. You're then going to see this in active orders, okay? That means it has not been filled yet. It's just waiting until this price gets hit, okay? If price comes up to $95,000, and I'll scroll up, you'll see it right there. There's your limit order is set. If price got there, my short would be initiated, and it would then move over to the open positions tab. Once I was notified that my position had been filled and I was in a trade, I would then begin to manage it. I would then plug in my take profit and stop losses, usually on limit order, and I would do that as partial orders because I don't necessarily always want to take profit in one price. I may want to hit different levels of take profit. So I would set those after my trade had been filled and manage it from there. Once you've done all the trading that you want to do, you can always withdraw your money. You would need to come back here and just click on the withdraw button. You would have to give your banking information, or you could withdraw crypto back to another exchange if you're more comfortable doing that, and then transfer it to your bank from there. It is super easy to do. You can also create sub accounts on here. So if you wanted to have one main account, you could do that, and then you could have a separate account. Like if you have one that you were trading on that you wanted to save up to buy a car or something, you might want all of the profits for that to go towards the car. So you'd have a sub account and call it your car account or something like that. You can create many sub accounts for many different reasons. You may want to transfer all of your profits into one account. So you create a profit account and transfer into there. That way you're not putting at risk the profits you've already earned. You can also open multiple trades at once. You could be in a Bitcoin long and a Bitcoin short at the same time. You could have Bitcoin trades open, you could have Ethereum trades open, other altcoin trades open, all of them at the same time, and they would be managed right here on the same window. I hope this basic strategy to Phemex leverage trading has helped. Once you get in there and play around with it for a little bit, it's really not that complicated. I know it seems overwhelming at first, but once you've got it, and you'll be a professional trader before you know it. If interested, we can give you walk-through mentorship advice on this. We do offer that on our channel. Go to our channel below, join our VIP Discord. We offer VIP trading strategies. We offer mentorship programs in which I mentor you one-on-one live through Zoom calls. Anything you might need that I can share with you, I'll be glad to do so.